Welcome to Activity 6, your final set of activities for this session. I'm going to briefly go through the rotating stations. Your facilitator will provide you with supplies at each of these stations to complete the tasks. Depending on how much time your facilitator provides you, this can take about 45 minutes to an hour, depending. But again, it is completely up to your facilitator how much time is spent. So make sure you keep an eye on the clock so you reach all of the information. First, scientific literacy. Here there will be 2 articles. You will take turns reading these with the talk to text bookmark that will be provided for you at the station. In your mini ISN is where you will make notes of strategies that you used while reading each of the articles. You can make note of things like highlight, underline, circling words. Did you reread or paraphrase anything? Did you consider the meaning of some of the words that were used? Just to name a few. Also, your facilitator should have provided you with a piece of chart paper or maybe copy paper where you can write one strategy, a reading strategy that you might use with your students. As each set of participants moves around the stations, you will also need to add additional strategies to have a complete list, and then your facilitator can choose to share all of those with you, either electronically or have you go back through the stations to see what additional items were added that maybe you don't have in your mini ISN. After going through this activity, you will also want to reflect on the 2 questions that are provided on these cards, which are also at all the stations. How do these reading selections differ, and did you use different strategies to navigate the text? It's important for us to be aware of what strategies work in scientific literacy versus fiction reading, because what we do with science reading may not necessarily lend itself to fictional reading. Are we using diagrams? Can you really visualize what the text is talking about? Probably not. So what other strategies can we use in order to get the full meaning of the text that we provide our students with? Stickbot motion is a way for students to explain through a video app their understanding of content. So some stop motion options that your facilitator may provide to you, they may provide different ones, could include erosion with clay, journey of a cracker, which is the digestive system, balancing chemical equations, but you will need to download the Stickbot app in order to create your video. This is a very quick download. You'll see the little Stickbot icon, and it's completely free and a lot of fun. It may take you a few times to play with it to get the idea, but it is a wonderful tool and kids really do like it. And it's easy to share these videos either through Facebook, Google Drive, maybe even Edmodo and other applications that you might use in addition to curate your students' learning. Real-world virtual field trips. This is an opportunity for you to explore Discover Science virtual field trips. Provided you with the link here. You're going to pick a grade level and explore one of the options and reflect in your interactive notebook how this could be used. You'll also want to share another resource that you find here and find a new resource, such as go out on the internet and see if anyone else provides virtual field trips. I'll bet you can find some cool ones. Just don't forget to share on that piece of chart paper or copy paper that the facilitator has provided for you at the station. Teacher talk, the teacher brain. We need to grow just like our kids do. So NSTA has provided you with some free articles for you to read. You do not need a membership, but if you have a membership, you have full access to all of the journals that they have. But for the free ones, what you're going to do is scroll down just slightly on the NSTA journal site. Be careful, read carefully, because it is there. You'll find your grade level, explore the magazine of your choice, middle school or high school. And then you'll read one article and share 2 things on that chart paper or copy paper that you learned from the article. For the concept map, you're going to create an interactive word wall. You can, from the interactive word wall, you're going to create a concept map. You're going to randomly write some words down from that word wall that you had created earlier with your categories. Biotic and abiotic, I'm guessing, is probably what you came to the consensus of. Go ahead and connect those on a piece of chart paper or copy paper, whichever your facilitator chooses to provide you with. And make connections with the words using arrows, and on each arrow you'll write down what the connection is. The idea is that when an individual that's not in your group walks up, they can actually see what you wrote and why you made the connection that you did. So I would like for you to try to make more than one connection with the words and just see how many you can make. Challenge yourself. And if you want to, write down a mini version of your concept map in your mini ISN, you're welcome to do so. This is a quick video on stop motion. I'm not going to play all of it, but just to give you an idea of what that stop motion might look like for you at the station, and just so you have an idea.
The digestive system. Today we are going to learn about how a little cracker goes from in your mouth all the way through your body and lands up in the toilet. This is the digestive system. This is today's snack, a cracker. Before it goes in the mouth, the cracker is solid, dry, and crunchy. Here it goes into the mouth. In the mouth, the cracker is broken down into small pieces with the teeth. The tongue moves the food. Saliva from the salivary glands begins to make the cracker mushy and soft. Once the food is broken down enough to swallow, it enters the esophagus. The esophagus is a long tube that has smooth muscles all around it. The muscles push the food all the way down into the stomach. At the end of the esophagus is something called a sphincter. The sphincter is a valve that opens and lets food into the stomach, but closes before stomach acid comes up into the esophagus. In the stomach, the cracker will get broken down even more than in the mouth. The stomach acid and the movement of the stomach turns food into a paste-like substance called chyme, almost like toothpaste.
So as you can see, they used a stop motion application in order to demonstrate their understanding of the digestive system. So that is similar to what you are going to be doing at your rotating stations. So facilitators, if everything is in place and you are ready to release your participants, go ahead and let them go through the rotating stations. And it's also advised to go ahead and start a timer in order to keep things on track. You can go ahead and pause the video right here. Now that you're finished with stations, go ahead and do a table talk takeaway. Here you will determine 5 things, one for each finger on your hand, takeaways that you had from the entire session. Go ahead and start in a small group and then open up to whole group and share all of the things that you discovered that were new, some ahas that you had, or maybe some things that validated your thinking. Go ahead and pause the video here and then resume when you're finished. So we're going to watch this really quick little video. It's just something to think about that I'm going to leave you with.
When I think of science, I think of a truly human activity. Something fundamental to our DNA. Something that drives curiosity. When you're a kid, you're born a scientist. What does a scientist do? We look up and say, I wonder what that is. Let me go find out. Let me poke it. Let me turn it around. This is what kids do. Kids that can barely walk, what are they doing? They're turning over rocks. They're plucking petals off of rose. They're exploring their environment through experimentation. That's what we do as human beings. So what do? We prevent that. We prevent these depths of curiosity from revealing themselves, even within our own residences. You know, we spend a year teaching our kids to walk and talk, and the rest of their lives tell them to shut up and sit down. What kind of environment is that? The goal here is not to make everybody a scientist. That's not the goal. What a boring world that would be. You want artists, you want musicians, you want novelists, poets. You want the rest of this. What matters is whether they're scientifically literate and maintain that literacy and that curiosity throughout their lives, no matter what becomes their profession. People think science literacy is being able to recite facts, and it's not that. It's a part of it, but it's not the main part. The main part is, how do you look at the world? What does the world look like through your lens? If you're scientifically literate, the world looks very different to you. It's not just a lot of mysterious things happening. There's a lot we understand out there. And that understanding empowers you to first not be taken advantage of by others who do understand it. And second, there are issues that confront society that have science as their foundation. You can't look at science and math as some separate subject. It's fundamental to what it is to be alive because it's all around us. And it influences your health, your safety, how you're going to have to vote, what issues are before you politically. If you're not scientifically literate, it's in a way you are disenfranchising yourself from the democratic process, and you don't even know it.
Just want to thank you for participating in our facilitated module. If you have any questions, you can find us at region10.org or email me at samantha.bradbury@region10.org. So thank you and have a great day.